starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We live. We live. Yeah.
Prime, come out and face me, unless you're afraid to be beaten by a woman.
Those mouth-watering breasts aren't fooling anyone, Megatron. I'm still gonna shoot you.
You should check your privilege, Prime, before one of my new warriors checks it for you. Behold! Curvebot,
I'm sexy.
Safe Space, and Blackbot.
Yeah, I'm just a black guy. I don't really want to be here.
Yes, you do! You're a minority! Start acting like it!
Oh! Jesus Christ, bro! What?
I thought we were starting! We're starting, right? We're starting! Yo, fuck you guys! This is bullshit! I could have stayed home today!
The show, Dada!
The last 7 days have been totally insane, but we made it. Now buckle up and get ready for the most organic conversation on the internet with your hosts, the Force, the King, the Kamikaze, the Great and Terrible. Up to it, down to it. Pour a glass and talk some trash. Welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a good time tonight right along with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Let's go up to it. Right there, baby!
In here.
Already, drinks flowing. The trash is being talked.
We live.
That was a good one, and we are live. Nothing better than we can be than live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Fortunately, nothing's changed in at least the last 90 days or so, and I can still call you that. Welcome back to another episode of Up to It, Down to It by your Friday Night Delights right here. We are about to have us a good time. You already see what kind of time we are. Let's have a good time. Roll up to it. Drink up to it, whatever you do, man. Let's just have us a good time. It's been a long week over here for sure, so I'm looking forward to getting into some good vibes, good conversations, some good laughs, and all those good things, man. So anyway, yeah, pour a glass and talk some trash. Let's get right straight to it. We're going to get to these intros. So right chair on my right, on your screen, on my left, on my screen. Y'all know what it is. HBCU made Teacher of the Year, Teacher of the Century. Y'all know what it is, man. The immovable force. Cannon, my brother.
Oh man, welcome back. It's just good to be in the number, man. That's all I got. It's been a whirlwind, few weeks, but glad to be here. I feel like everything is taking me away from the show, but I appreciate the bros for holding it down. And shout out to the greatest audience that exists, because y'all been, here showing your support. And on the weeks that we've been off, like, oh, it ain't no podcast tonight, so we got to make sure that we do it right for y'all tonight. Got a little bit of everything going on, but I want to start by shouting out my little guy who I just put to bed. When he wakes up in the morning, he will be 6 years old, and I'm just amazed at what God has done. He's an honor roll student. I didn't even know they did like honor roll this early on, but we'll take it. So honor roll student, and we did his little birthday party at his school yesterday, and he served his classmates, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, nobody prompted him. He just started handing out napkins, handing out juices, and I was like, yo, my guy is politicking in kindergarten. So Just amazed at what God has done. So shout out, to the guy upstairs for blessing me with the most amazing son, and we can't wait to celebrate him tomorrow. And tonight, we're gonna celebrate adult style. So everything's in the cup. We didn't already took shots before the show started. All right, this is Bardstown Bourbon, so that's what the shots are. And came here for a good time, not a long time. So our darks are getting mixed with our lights, and this one is tequila. All right, it's El Tequilino, all right, which is made with natural volcanic spring water. It's got copper stills. It's smooth, like super smooth. Can't even taste your sip go down smooth. But we going, mix that up, and of course, we don't do nothing but mix with the Nick Cannon juice. So this is the cran pineapple. This like baby number 5. You know what I'm saying? And then when in doubt, we got a little bit of water because tomorrow's gonna be a long day. So, and it's not Aquafina. As long as it ain't Aquafina, we're not judging you until Aquafina's paying us. So let us know in the comments what you drinking. Fellas, what's in y'all cups too? Pour something up, man. I'm just excited to be here. Let's have a great show.
You know what it is, man. And absolutely happy birthday, Yes, sir. 6 years old, man. I love it, man. Seeing him growing up real good, man. You're doing a great job with him. You and his mom, Jakara. Y'all are doing a great job with him for sure. Keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate y'all, fellas.
Already. And with that being said, we know what time it is. Down bottom, my LB, my guy. You know what it is. You know what he's bringing to the table. The inspirational King Rich. Talk to us, LB. What's on your mind? What you got for the people?
Still a name that's been given to me. So here we go. What's going on, everybody? I'm doing fine like wine and getting better with time, and I hope you are too. Man, it's been one heck of a week. It's been one heck of a year so far, period. I'm just sending positive vibes, man. I'm sending positive vibes in a hashtag LFG. All right, LFG. For those that know, no. But yeah, man. Tonight, I said I was tired, right? And so tonight I'm on the purest of Dunkin' iced coffee. You heard me. You heard me right. Dunkin' iced coffee. That's where we're going. That's what's in my cup. But not to worry. Not to worry. For the shots, I picked up this Fordham Lee chocolate love cream liqueur. Okay. Now here's what I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna give an honest opinion of it. Honest opinion is it smells terrible. Okay. It does. It really does smell terrible. But the taste is actually delicious. All right. The smell, I don't think I can get past the smell. I probably won't pick this one up again. That's my honest opinion. All right. But the taste is there. But there's other ones out there that smell great along with the taste. So I had to try it out though. And as you can see, I'm gonna finish this one up. Maybe tonight. Depends on how the show goes. All right, we live. This is organic, so it depends on how the show goes. Might finish this tonight, but also there's a little note on there. I don't know if y'all can see it. It says Grandma was here, so shout out to Grandma for also partaking. That's what's up. But once again, happy birthday to the nephew, man. He's doing his thing. He's growing, and he's always laughing. And it's from what Kev, hey man, he's loving too, man. I love it. Being of service, and you serving other people. That to me, that's a sign of a leader. And who knows, man? Next president of the United States. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe so. We see. We'll see. But we got a good show for y'all tonight. So tell a friend to tell a friend. There's still time, so let's get into it, baby. Let's go.
Let's effing go. This is what it is, man. What you well, not you. I'm sorry, me. So what am I sipping on? I have to go ahead and add to the party. I've been drinking not all day. I've been drinking a good part of the day, like this evening, good part of this evening.
Listen, sometimes you
I
got.
wish I could have. I wish I could have. I had a test at the end of the day at work. That sucker was 2 hours. I'm tired.
Word.
But anyway, what you drinking on? Because I wish I was got a chance to start early.
Well, it's a vibe over here. It's a vibe. If you've been watching the last couple episodes, it's still a vibe.
Yeah, you had those the last couple episodes. I might have to try one of those out.
Listen, you selling us on it. Selling us on it.
Yeah, man. This vibe by Von Donge.
Vintage.
Vindage.
Bondage. Bondage.
I'm saying Von Donge. Von Donge sounds way more sophisticated.
I mean, with the
Sophisticated.
colors on the
Sophisticated.
there,
Yeah, fistication.
Hey, shout out to South Carolina. They just finished off Texas. They going to the national championship. You know,
Nice.
you know.
I think I could have predicted that. Shout out to Texas, but South Carolina, man.
Yeah. You know, Don Staley puts the Don in McDonald's All American. You know,
Straight up. Excellent pun, by the way. Excellent pun.
He'll be here all night.
All night.
I do weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties. You know,
we are here with it, man. All right, let's get to something real quick. I gotta, we always start with a little bit of current events, just a couple. So I'm gonna ask about this one, man. We start with a little bit of controversy. Anthony Edwards. Yep.
What'd he do?
the most. The most.
Whew.
Anthony Edwards.
Are we?
Hold on.
Are we?
Just let it happen.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Yep. Drink on whatever you drinking on, as long as it's not Aquafina. We're not judging you. I mean, if you're drinking Aquafina, go for it. It's better than nothing, I suppose. But just know we're judging you. Okay.
We listen and we judge. Okay. Let's be clear.
We listen and we judge.
Somebody
put that in the comments. That got to go on a shirt. We listen up to it, down to it.
All of these shirts. You know what? All right, because I got some written down. I'm gonna have to write down the slogans. We got a million of them already.
Seriously, we need a secretary, man.
Got to go back and watch all the episodes so we can figure out all the put them on the t-shirts.
That's right.
Hey man, listen, we'd probably have one at least every other episodes, man. We said one every other episode, but that's got to go on one right there. That slogan right there has got to go. So the story, jumping back to Anthony Edwards, the story goes that as far as I know, allegedly, because she actually alleges that the last part of this is not true, according to the New York Post. So Anthony Edwards and this woman, I think she's older than him, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that right? Significantly older, like by 15 years or something like that, right?
For sure.
I did hear. Yeah, I did hear about this. Yeah.
So she's a cougar. She got young Anthony Edwards in an entanglement. The entanglement led to a baby, a pregnancy, right? And the story then goes that Anthony Edwards said that he didn't want to have nothing to do with it, and they pretty much encouraged her to, terminate. We'll say terminate. I can say terminate on YouTube, right? I think I can say terminate.
We'll find out if
if we get cut off. Yeah.
It's happened before. We've been canceled mid-show before,
like twice. Been canceled twice.
Yeah. What an illustrious career. So anyways, he encouraged her to terminate, and she was like, nah, I ain't finna do that, right? And she went on ahead and continued on, said Bambino or Bambina was here, came here in October, and allegedly from here, the judge ordered him to pay child support for the baby, upwards of about $1 million, and he then allegedly turned around or is claiming he will turn around and pay all 18 years of child support up front, totaling somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.8 million to again handle all of the expenses over the next 18 years. This is alleged, right? The woman in question has come out then saying, apparently, saying that these things are not true, right? Saying that these points that he's making are not true, that they're false, they're fake news. Um, and that's pretty much the story, Kev. Did I leave anything out?
Nah, and for what it's worth, because people who I don't know care about any kind of truth actually do some research, and that is spot on. That none of these things are true. Well, I'll not say none of the things. So, to give a little more context, in their initial conversations upon finding out that she was pregnant, he was like, "Well, I don't want a kid, or I don't want another kid because he's already got kids." Like he's starting his own Nick Cannon campaign.
Yeah, about to say you got like 6 or
So –
7, I think, right?
well, I think it's four. But
Oh,
like
four.
it's like four in like a calendar year. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something like he was
Yeah.
just out there having
He
the
went
time
on
of his life
a little
in a
spree,
nutshell.
a little shopping.
And
He's
yeah,
just on a
so
spree.
he was like, I don't, want another one. And those were his initial feelings, but like he's kind of since walked that back and doesn't feel the same way. So there's that aspect of the story. Then of course the alleging that he paid it all up front, and none of those things are the case. Which anyone with half a brain would know that doesn't make sense because finances change, especially when you are a all NBA player. You know what I'm saying? U.S. Olympian, like like if I was a betting woman, I would not settle for you to pay me up front, knowing that like you're about to go into another guaranteed contract that's significantly more substantial than the one you're playing on now. With
Shit, why not?
endorsements
What you
and
got to do with that? What she
I'm
got to
just
do with
what
that? That
I'm
ain't got
just
nothing to do with her.
it ain't got nothing to do with her.
She ain't got no talent. She ain't making that kind of money.
It got everything to do with the kid. I'm just saying, if I was a betting person, that would be the route that I would go. So like none of those aspects of the story are true. And that's where we are now. But clickbait and AI are really, really wild these days.
So because he potentially will make more money, right? Then the 1.8 million ain't enough up front.
Now
That's
that's
what I'm saying.
that
I'm
that's
I'm just going with the the hypothetical or the. I'm just saying. You
So
telling me
let's pretend it's true for
you
a
telling
second. We
me
know
that the
it's not.
1.8 million up front is not enough? I mean, are
it.
you?
And so that's why I said she's not saying these things. I'm just saying if I was a betting person, that because again, even for us, like the more money we make, the assumed better quality of life we can curate for ourselves. So said child who is a product of your semen could have a better quality of life than said current quality, because there is something better than $5,000 a month. 10,000 is better than 5,000.
But
15,000 is better than 5,000. I'm just saying.
I
So
understand all of that, but
yeah,
didn't
so I'm not, again,
from
she
when I
said none of
read.
these things. I want to be clear. These are
No,
not
yeah,
her words.
exactly. Everybody, we just
Yeah.
want to go down this little
Playing with
rabbit hole for a
hypotheticals.
second, right? Because I'm just wondering. I'm like, but for a kid that he doesn't want anything to do with, right? That's not on his plate. He's like, you know what? I said I didn't want it. You went ahead. Here's your lump sum. If the judge, if they even allow that, I'm just saying. But here's a lump sum up front. Y'all go be great. Is she not okay with like? Are you really doing it for the kid, or is there other motives behind it? I just wonder.
I,
These are questions that we don't have answers for. I know.
if she were a person who didn't care so much about the money and cared about his presence, then no amount of money would be enough. You know, because you can hand all the money in the world to a person, but it doesn't make up for a father's presence, and we know that. As present fathers, like there's nothing replacing a father's presence in the life of a child. So like you know the
Yeah,
the you can make whatever money work. Well, not whatever money, but you can make 1.1. You can make that work.
you can make the
You can
money
make it
work.
enough.
while there's nothing like the Father's presence there, you also can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. Well, obviously you can in certain aspects, certain sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, all right. We're done with the rabbit hole.
I just want to say for the record that $1.8 million over 18 years is $100,000 a year. And what is it? Less than 6% of the country makes $100,000 a year.
And if you write at 100,000, you still struggling. I don't
Oh
care.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying that's the holy grail, but I'm saying like even
that's extra.
comparatively,
Comparatively,
the vast majority of people are not making 100,000, and we could argue 100,000. Won't have you living but so large, right? but you could survive on 100,000. You and your kid can survive on 100,000.
Scratching.
Okay, all right, but surviving though, you can make it, right?
I mean,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You can make it living off grid and
Listen.
The average family doesn't make $100,000 a year and they survive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, listen. I feel like my quality of life was significantly better when I was making $23,000 a year. Like I ain't even gonna hold you now. Like now that I'm finally tipping six figures, like I'm like, what, why, where, how, when I, $23,000 a year, and I was the king of the world. Like what?
Yeah.
But I do want to double back though, because we, our rabbit hole sent us to her side. We not finna absolve.
No.
Him, because again, four kids in like the span of 2 years, calendar years.
Yeah, he's reckless. He's reckless out here
with like a number of women. Like clearly, he ain't learned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
obviously. Obviously, he wants to pay a lot more than $1 million.
Yeah, like because you know
what I mean.
$15 could have kept him from all of the kids.
That's facts. That's facts.
Period. I mean,
that's facts.
You got to get just being better at your game.
Yeah,
you got to
pull out game strong.
You got to bat 1,000.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pull out game got to be 1,000 or something. Like, you can't just.
Yeah, because on the other side of that, I know a flight of steps hate to see me coming.
Because then there's the other side.
What
the hell? What are we doing?
This is the early show, y'all. Stay with us.
Yeah, right, LB. Exactly.
Hey, nah, babe. It's babe. It's more heart healthy if we take the steps. It's it's better for us. What are elevators? We only going up 3 flights. It's more heart healthy.
We're not even 30 minutes in. Oh God.
He's also. I mean, because if you watch his interviews, if you see how the kid moves, I mean, they just gave a kid a whole lot of money.
They did, yeah.
And then that opened the door for him to get to those persons that he was only following on Instagram, and now he can actually not only touch them, but
touch them.
He can afford them.
He can get closer than he's ever been. He
can buy that box.
Yeah. Now here, knowing what I do know, here's what I will say.
Go.
And of course, like we seen, Coach Prime, he kind of brought it to the forefront, but what he was doing ain't nothing new, because the NBA players in their inaugural seasons get them exact same classes.
Yeah.
When they get them first checks, like, hey, listen, you about to be handed more money than you've ever seen at a time
than most people will see in their lifetime.
Right. several lifetimes. You know,
Fact.
like bloodlines won't see that kind of
The
income.
amount of money you're about to see.
Yeah. So
Yeah, straight up.
like we need you to understand a few things. One, you can't, you know, they teach them you can't be giving out money to everybody in your family because you finna be broke faster than you can, you know, get paid. You can't be you gotta like hire an accountant, but keep an eye on your accountant because they ain't all above board. You feel what I'm saying? And then that conversation that they have that, you know, is quiet but loud is, you know, when you go to the club, they trying to take you home from the club. And when they take you home, they trying to do it without the rubber. Cause they know what we know. You are $1 billion investment. You know what I'm saying? So
Fact.
like they
No
get the
paycheck.
education. Now what you
Meal
do
ticket.
with the education is a whole nother story.
Yeah,
Because
some
there's
people
always
like to
gonna be
learn
them
the hard way.
kids that ain't paying attention in class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people just like to learn the hard way, I guess. You know.
It's a hard lesson. It's a hard lesson.
Yeah. And God bless you, Jay Owens, because teacher salaries be real different. I ain't even, you know, real different.
Oh yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's real. Yeah, you know, in income pre-marriage and pre-kids. Yeah,
That's also very different.
listen.
People be like, oh, K2 need a sibling. Shut up.
Yeah.
He got play dates. He fine.
You
What?
you gonna be daycare. You gonna be
Yeah. Are you
before and after
are you
daycare.
paying a bill? Like any of them?
A bill.
One.
Phew.
Are you a babysitter?
I remember how much diapers cost. I don't want that again.
Yeah, you remember how much it cost then?
Right
Yeah,
then.
that's what I'm
Heavy
saying.
on the
Especially
then.
not now. Yeah.
You know, formula was expensive. Daycare is expensive. The health and vision and dental that come out my check every 2 weeks, even though we go twice a year, is expensive.
And that was expensive 6 years ago. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Look, man. Having kids is something you got to seriously consider. You have to, really consider your, financial and mental capacity.
Heavy on the mental.
Heavy on the mental capacity, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying.
And check out people's families. Like it ain't just about the person. Just do some research into their family.
Yeah, you got
mess around, get that one that your kid had that one gene that one uncle had, that one
You know
you know,
you know what I'm saying.
the Slapaho gene.
Yeah, and just in general, like people ain't having enough conversations. Does cancer run in your family? Do y'all have like history of drug abuse or alcoholism? Like, is that in your family? Like, do y'all like it's a lot of conversations and a lot of questions that people are glossing over because of a piece of
visual art.
You understand what I'm saying? And that ain't
because of a piece of visual art.
Yeah, and that ain't it.
That ain't it.
That ain't it. It's not enough.
Damn.
You hear what I said? It's not enough.
Damn.
If you in it for the right reasons, I mean.
Hello.
If.
Where's Maud Flanders when you need her? Won't someone please think of the children?
Oh boy. What up, Liz?
Glad to have you always.
Liz in the house.
Yeah, what's happening?
Thug life.
What up?
In a minute. Jay Owens, what's good, man? Always a pleasure. Light it up in the comments, man. Let us know what y'all think about all of this stuff that we are talking about. We just finished talking about Anthony Edwards and his alleged situation, but also, kind of went down the rabbit hole, right? Let us know what you think about them in that situation. we got to move on because we can't just sit here. Stuff is happening. We got it. So let's get to. Hold on. All right, I had to make sure I still had enough ice for this next drink. This is like number 3.
I was trying to figure out if we had to get another shot ready.
Yeah, get another shot ready. You
got
don't
mine ready
You
already.
don't want to get another shot
Already.
Say less.
Oh yes. Get the drinks on deck, fam. Everybody, y'all out there in the comments, get the drinks on deck. We about to check something out, man. We're doing our either or up to it or down to it, if you know what I mean. So get your drinks ready. Actually, hold on a second. Let me make sure I added. I don't think I did. Hang on a second. Hang on. We live.
All the way live.
Yeah.
Is that right? Did I do that right? I think I did that right. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. All right, baby. All right, we in there. Let's go.
G, baby.
Here we go. A or
here?
B?
What we got here?
Why? What you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Is actually a great question. Or going the extra mile.
Ooh. Going the extra
Let
mile.
us know in the comments what you think. If you think, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? What do you bring to the table? A. The one on the bottom. That's
A or B, Hotch.
A or B. Yeah, A or B Hotch. That's Hola Mio or B Hotch.
Don't mind us. We just ourselves.
Yeah, this is what we do, man. This is why y'all love us.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, A or B, man. What y'all think?
Listen, the table's facial expression makes me wanna go in that direction. But and the fact that it is a great question because we've addressed the table, but somebody to say it's a great question makes me want to hear what they got to say. But then also the going the extra mile, his facial expression is also very curious. This is a toss up for me. Rich, what you got, man?
Because I feel like we did the what do you bring to the table before, but the facial expressions got me like, all right, what do you got to say? But this going the extra mile seems interesting too. So, you know what? We gonna hit. I'm gonna go with bump it. I'm gonna go with A. Bump it.
A.
I think the A's have it. I'm thinking. Y'all see, look at the comments, y'all. Look at the comments.
I was not ready for that.
Okay. This the
But
kind of night we have.
but also shout out Riri Johnson because that's a name we ain't seen in the comments. So
yeah,
new I would say new faces, but we'll just call it new names. Yeah, new names.
What it is. Welcome, Riri.
Yeah.
Oh, we got A in the comments. Yeah, I think the A's have it this time. Maybe we'll take a look at the other one on the second go round. So, all right, hold on. Let me make sure everybody's set up on this one too. Oh yeah, we good. Okay. Let's talk about it.
You said one thing I didn't like. You said you don't like when men ask the question, what do you bring to the table?
I don't like that question.
Why?
Some people think they bring something to the table that they absolutely don't.
Can women ask men that?
I don't think it's necessary.
If I don't really know what you bring?
No, I think you allow someone to experience you. I think that question in itself is a lazy way to go about things. Now, I think it's a difference between saying your desire. Like if I were to say, well, what do you want out of a wife? Mm-hmm. What do you want as far as being a husband? What does that look like for you? How do you desire to provide for your household? All of these things are valuable and good insight questions. But saying well, what do you bring to the table? That's so vague.
No, it's really not.
I
And it's
think it's
very
vague.
insightful in the analogy.
I,
It's a very good question to ask women.
tell me
Because
why.
women normally bring out their narcissism when you ask that question.
Break
What's
that
the most
down.
popular answer that women give to that question?
I am the table.
And it's just a big red flag that they're a narcissist.
Oh.
And they're avoiding a good question.
Okay, so two-part question. One, what is the answer that you want? And two, why is that narcissistic to say I am the table?
All right. So for one, that answer doesn't hit like how they think it hits, saying you are the table, because you're not even saying what type of table you are.
Yeah.
Are you that antique table at Big Mama's house that's been there for 50 years and it's going to last and stand
Endure.
strong?
Right.
Or are you that folding table where we can't even put anything on there?
Right.
You're not durable. You won't last.
Right.
And then it's narcissistic because what does the table do at dinner time? The table just exists and we bring everything to the table. That's a narcissist. You don't got to do nothing, just exist, and everything revolves around you. That's a narcissist. The opportunity with that question is for her to dive deep into her intellect and say, what I bring to the table is I'm a good cook. I bring peace. I bring prayer. I'm a good listener. I'm able to adapt. That's what I'm looking for when I ask that question.
Right.
And it will show her intellect. You don't want no dummy, do you? No, I don't want a dummy.
But don't you think it's arrogant to assume that everyone wants the same thing at the table? That's my issue with having such a set answer to the question. I bring so many things to any table that I'm at that it would be ignorant for me to say, well, I bring these 5. My best superpower is being able to identify what does the table need and or orchestrating. If I can't bring it, can I call Susan down the street and say, Susan, we're having this potluck at the table. I need you to bring the green beans and the mashed potatoes. I'm going to take care of the turkey. I can either orchestrate it or I can say, you know what? I have all this for a table, but this isn't my table. So I think that it's silly to just directly answer that question. That's my qualm with the question. And same for a man. If I were to ask a man, what do you bring to a table? And he were to be like, well, I'm a provider and I'm a protector. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I bring elaboration to the table. I can elaborate and expound.
Okay. Okay.
And then you would be able to say, when I said you bring adaptability to it,
yes,
that's showing that you bring several things.
Yes.
I bring diversity to the table. You bring several things.
For a lot of men, it's like a trick question.
There's no tricks.
I think it's a trick question.
The tricks are for kids. I don't do tricks. We have an adult conversation.
Yeah.
I'm going to see how you respond. I don't want a narcissistic response like, oh, I am the table. I just want to see you converse like a grown woman and say, this is what I bring.
Do we take the shot or do we clap first?
Let's take the shot and then clap. Take the shot. Take the shot first. Let's get some background action, background music for this shot.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's the worst background music choice ever.
I was like,
the worst ever.
I was like, wait, what are we doing here?
What?
Yeah. I'd stand up, but they'd be crotch all in your face. And
crotch all in your face.
It's not enjoyable for everybody.
Put it on a shirt. Crotch all in your face.
We back.
My bad. Go ahead.
Lord.
Go ahead. I'm back. I'm back to being ruling.
Hey, listen. Did he break it down, or did he break it down?
When Generation X break it down.
I think the climax of his sermon was, I want you to talk like an adult. I want you to explain yourself. I want you to elaborate. I want you to expound. Okay, all the SAT vocabulary that we can provide is what should be happening here. And listen, I want to shout her out too, because in essence, I feel like they were saying a lot of the same things. Like, she doesn't like the question, but then proceeded to say all of the things that make that question a great question. So I'm not even knocking her, her approach to it, because if you say those things, then we may not necessarily have to have that conversation. And I feel like this is the conversation that we've had, somewhere in the conversation, that is the discussion. Who are you as a partner? Who are you when conflict arises? Who are you when somebody, becomes sick and can't necessarily take care of themselves, or can't, if they were the sole provider, now that they're sick, what does that look like? Like, those kinds of conversations and questions bring out the, what did you bring to the table in a person? And she's articulate enough to just have the conversation, but some people do need the prompt. What do you bring to the table? When you go to a job interview, one of them questions is what are your best assets? What makes you a valuable resource to our company? What I'm saying, like, and relationship and the pursuit of marriage and happiness and whatever, like, is like it's work every day. So the question is, like, what qualities do you have that show that you're going to work towards this every day, that you have a desire to better yourself, that you have the, like, wherewithal to take constructive criticism and not view it as a personal attack, but rather, I'm saying, like, see it as an opportunity for growth. Like, how do you respond to adversity? Like, that's the table. That's what's on the table, is what you're bringing going to cause one of them legs to collapse and the table fall? Or are you, I'm saying, like, sitting at the table for good presentation so that everyone can enjoy the fruits of the labor that went into what's on the table? Like that, it.
Yeah, yeah. And so, Kev, you said something I was going to touch on. First of all, I can actually agree with both of them, and I could see, they were basically saying the same thing, just different paths. On one hand, she was talking about experiences, and with experiences come time, come events, come, that's a wider, you know um span of time that you're spending with this person, right? Whereas what he bring to the table is like an interview, and it's like, if somebody's not trying to waste their time, they're trying to see up front what do you bring to the table, and even how do you answer that question, like, because, like she said, she doesn't like that question, but if somebody does ask you that question, how do you handle when somebody asks you something you don't like? How do you handle those situations? um so I can see both sides, and for him, right, that time being shorter, he's like, I want to get this up front because I want to know if I want to take you out on a second date, if I want to take you out on a third date, if I want to go and start to extend the time that I'm spending with you, right? Because we don't get time back. We don't get it back. Precious, precious commodity. We don't get that back. Hey, your thoughts, babe.
Um, my thought on this question has been for a long time that um, people who are offended by the question, "What do you bring to the table?" are people who can't answer the question. You know what I mean? Like, who are the most offended are the ones that can't answer the question, and usually it's because the answer is they don't bring anything to the table, and they know it. They don't want you to know it up front. That's why they want, you know what I mean? That's why they want you to. And I'm not saying that you can't date somebody over time and over time learn things about them that are good or bad or indifferent, and you can grow together or grow apart or what have you. That is the point of dating. But I mean, it's the same thing. It is very similar to a job interview. It's like, when you're dating somebody, they're interviewing for the job of spouse, like husband or wife, really, right? So we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this thing the right way together forever, me and you. Sickness and in health. Right? Richer for poor, better or worse till death. Right? Like we always say. If we're gonna do that, why am I investing that time, effort, energy in you? For all of the people that I could choose, why should I choose you? Like, what's different about you? What's special about you? That's really essentially what the question is. And that should, I often hear women, or specifically women, I often hear um, say that, you'll get the answer to this question, from dating this person. Yeah, but also I don't want to waste my time either, right? If we're ideologically misaligned, or we're misaligned in general, right? There's no sense in me wasting your time or me wasting my time for that matter, right? So yeah, I mean, I think I want to know some things. Like I want to know if if you don't cook because you can't cook or because you refuse to cook, because that's different. If you can't cook, you can be taught. You can try. If you refuse, that's different. And that may or may not be a make or break for me or the other person. Like that might not be a make or break for Kev. Kev does his own cooking. He does his own, his own thing in the kitchen. That might not be a make or break for Kev. It might be a make or break for me.
But still, still cook, still cook, please.
Yeah, still cook.
Still cook.
But we just might. My point is that we might view that as far as order of priority a little bit different, right? And that's fine, right? The point is for you to find the person that fits you, whatever you are, right? Assuming you're not a repellent. That's a whole other conversation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. Some of y'all repel more than you attract, man. I'm just saying. You repel the good ones and attract the bad ones. And it's your own fault. It's your own doing.
Is it that the question is too simple of a question?
Well, how else would you ask that question?
Right. I'm sitting here thinking, like, is it like what?
So,
why do you not like the question? Is it that it's too simple of a question? But that question is broad, right? Where you can start to elaborate and go off and lead it into other deeper conversations. Because for some people, right, they do want to be extra. They do want to make a elaborate story or out of a simple question, just to ask what they bring to the table.
So
because I don't think that of course, right, because it's not all, right. It is some, right. I don't think that all that can't answer that question. I think it's that they think that it's too simple of a question, and it has to be more than what it is.
But why? Does it? Does it?
I think I think the timing of the question matters, and I think and again we have to pontificate about how like the two of them arrived at this point in their conversation to address this table question. But if I may speculate, here I am tapping into my SAT vocabulary. If I may getting choked up. That's the liquor talking. If I may speculate, I will assume that she is a person who has been on many a date where the man could not articulate who he was in a relationship or like who he was as a person. And that would be frustrating, especially if you are a non-articulate person asking me what I bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like as a person, male or female, like that, for me, that would frustrate me. If you're asking me questions about myself, looking for me to provide you with very specific answers, and you can't articulate a thing for yourself, like that would be annoying. So like that can be a question that like sends you when you're used to responses that don't match the like what a person is approaching you with. That part's annoying.
That's fair, but doesn't that like okay? So, but wouldn't that also be because it's fair? I think it's fair to return fire in a manner of speaking, right? If I ask you, what you bring to the table, it's fair for you to also inquire about what I bring to the table, right? And make sure that those things are also in alignment. So if if I asked you what you bring to the table and you was able to tell me, peace, prosperity, pussy and pie, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
What happened to
whatever.
paninis, man? I thought we were,
Is that what we were saying? Paninis?
because paninis are in line with sandwiches. So if it's gonna be sex salads and sandwiches, if you're gonna go peas,
Yeah.
got to be paninis. Paninis are still
Word.
they're sandwich esque.
There we go. All right,
Yeah.
peace, paninis, and poussoir, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's what if you once you've made it clear that you bring those things to the table, then and if those are the three things that I'm looking for, because I could be somebody not looking for those three things, right? But if I'm looking for those three things, then yeah, I'm going to inquire more. How do you provide those things, right? How do you provide the peace? How would you like the peace? How do you like your okay? All right. Anyway, um, sorry. I flashed back.
I was about to
To college years.
listen. I was ready to set one out.
Wait, this vibe by Von Donge, by Von Donge is taking me back 20 some years.
Von Dog is.
Von.
Lord. I agree with Kev when he says I think it is, it's about timing, it's about knowing the person that you are, dating or trying to get to know. Filling out that person. It is about timing. Not just going, hey, Shorty, what you bring to the table?
Hey, Shorty, what do you bring to the table? All right, let me get your number.
Your light's good. So I think it definitely has to be the timing and the place. I think that goes into it. Yeah,
Because for me, the table conversation has never happened because I I ask questions that answer what it is that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? And so when you can articulate, when you can carry a conversation, when you can speak with intellect, then you get the answers you need. When you create scenarios that put people in position to show you who they are and how they would respond, you get what it is that you need. So like, a table question would be, how do you handle conflict? I may not necessarily have to ask you how you handle conflict if it took us a while to be seated at a restaurant, or if it took a while for the waiter or waitress to come to the table, or if it takes a while for our food to come. So now that you're frustrated, how are you responding to that? Are you cussing out the waitress when she doesn't control the cook? Are you, what I'm saying, like cussing out the hostess because like somebody else got seated before us, not even paying attention to the fact that they had a reservation? Like, how are you observing the scenario? Like, what I'm saying? So people when they show you who they are, believe them. But you have to give them time to show you like who they are and what they do and how they respond when in this microwave era that we're in, people are expecting to have every answer on date one, or jump into a bed before they get those answers and then be frustrated when you didn't realize that had a criminal record. Like a Maryland case search would have showed you their criminal record before y'all went out on a date, but you ain't do due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Like we are at a point where I can, like I can Google search you and get some things, and I'm not trying to seem stalkerish, but like, how did we come across each other? If I met you on Facebook dating, you know what I'm saying? If I met you through Instagram, like I've already seen an aspect of your life. So like to not ask questions about, hey, I saw that you majored in X, Y, and Z. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Or hey, I see that you work in blah, 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 blah. Well, what's that feel like for you? Or how did you get into it? Like that means you're not paying attention to something to create some questions that allow for conversation. People are weird.
Now I agree and I can see your point there. And to me, that's you leading the conversation and creating that dialogue. And I think what one of his points seemed to be was finding out where a person is at when they can when he asks a question like that, to see where their mindset is off jump, instead of leading and giving them and saying, how do you handle conflict? How do you handle negative personalities? You're like leading, you're giving them the talking point. And I can see where this gentleman's question is like, let me put this broad statement out there and let you take the realm and give your best foot forward. Tell me, what are those things that are at the forefront of your mind, that you would say first. So I could
Yeah.
see that as well. But all right.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree, and I think you can tell a lot of the answers to the questions that you're looking for by how somebody answers this one question, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if I ask you if we're on a date and then it comes up in conversation, and I don't think you should just fellas, I don't think you just be like, all right, she'll have a martini and I'll have a whiskey and coke. All right, great. So what do you bring to the table exactly? You know what I'm saying? All right, I don't think it should be like that. That's a little absurd, right? But I do think it's fair to ask that question on both sides. I think it's fair for you ladies. I think it's fair for you to check that guy. What kind of man, person, provider, protector is he, right? What is yet of course you want to go deeper with questions, right? Get your minds out of the gutter, you people. But you want to go deeper, of course, with questions and stuff like that, right? To find out more about whether or not, one, whether or not this person's lying, and two, what makes this person feel this way, and whether or not that's something you can Von Don gay vibe with. Sorry, but whether or not there's something you can vibe with, seriously.
So
And if either it will be or it won't, and I mean, and that's fine. And I think to for me, real quick, is I think if you ask that question, it's a broad question, of course, but it answers a lot of different questions as to whether or not how you handle these questions, how you handle this situation, this scenario, whatever, will determine whether or not I want to continue to spend my time with you anymore, and vice versa. It should also determine whether or not you want to spend time with me too. But I think it should be based on more than, well, he asked me what I bring to the table. I mean, if you're offended by that, I still think it's because you know that the answer to that question is nothing. You know the answer to that question is nothing, right? But you want to play the game for a little bit longer. Because the one thing that she did say, my bad, the one thing that she did say that gives me an idea of what some women are thinking when you ask that question is, she said, what answer do you want to hear? Right? I don't know. You're asking me that question and I don't know what answer you want to hear. And I would suggest that it's not about what answer we want to hear. It's about who you are and whether or not that fits what we want. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? We'll, shake hands and part ways. But if it does, yeah, I'm gonna want to go deeper, giggity, with more questions and such.
So to Rich's point, that like you give them an opportunity to expound. The question I like to lead with is, so tell me a little bit about yourself, because
Sure.
for like it's not as rigid as, so what do you bring to the table? However, to Rich's point, if I give you an open-ended window for response, you're going to lead with whatever's most important to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, some people will start with, well, I am a Christian woman or man who, loves to spend time with their family, who is, passionate about their job, sometimes to a fault, and blah 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 blah. And then some people will say, well, I make, you know what I'm saying, $300,000 a year, drive a, blah 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 blah, and I have a bar that's filled with wines from Napa Valley's most prestige, like, and you be sitting there like, that's vain as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or to your, you know what I'm saying? Or that might be something that, makes your inner thigh, tingle a little bit. Like that might be your speed. So, but if to ask an open-ended question gives them the space to share whatever's at the forefront of their mind and their heart.
So I agree. I agree. This is one last question. This is coming from one of our audience members. It's not in the chat. It came to my phone. And it says, is this a question you ask in a serious relationship and not a casual one?
So you already got to be in it, or like if you're pursuing it?
That's the question. If is this a question you ask in a serious relationship and not a casual one? Because we got to think in reality, most people don't ask this question up front. That it's roses and chocolates and you're on a high and honeymoon phase and all of this and you're having a great time. And most people don't. Right? So if you're in a serious relationship, do you ask this question, or do you ask this question in a casual one? Because if you're in a casual, to me that doesn't seem like you're trying to go any deeper. You're just casually having fun, dating around.
I would almost think that it would be somewhere in the middle. And the reason I say that is because if you're already in the relationship and then trying to figure out what they bring to the table, you did this in the wrong order. You know what I'm saying? But like if it's like truly casual, then you don't care what they bring to the table. So like, it's before the relationship, but at a point where like I'm looking for something a little bit more. So we have been dating, you know what I'm saying? And that dating might turn into, you know what I'm saying, exclusively dating, if there are levels to this. And then at that point, it is. How are we like moving towards and like a relationship with titles and, Facebook request changes and like, cause it ain't real if it ain't, if it ain't on Facebook, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I don't think it's all the way in the relationship, but I don't think it's, swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think you got to ask that question at least at the moment where you're considering a relationship with the person, a serious relationship, a serious exclusive relationship with this person. I think that's when it's fair to ask that question. Maybe again, I don't think you ask it right up front. I don't think you ask it when you slide in the DMs. Hey, shorty, you cute. So what do you bring to the table? I think that's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? But
you never know. She might like that.
I mean, hey, listen, more power to you. I wouldn't go that far into it. I wouldn't, go that deep. That
you were a betting man.
Never mind. Anyway, the point is that I probably wouldn't, maybe not so soon, but again, I think it's. Oh, you get a lot of answers to a lot of questions from how that person answers that question. And I also think that at some point you are going to answer that question anyway, or those questions anyway, right? And so are we talking about, men. So are we, right? We're going to answer those questions, are we? We're going to show who we are, right? Back to the Maya Angelou voice, right? We're going to show you who we are, and vice versa at some point. But it's also good to know somebody that knows who they are and what their limits are. I mean, my wife answered this question without me asking that question. I didn't ask that question, but specifically, but she pretty clearly articulated what things she brings to the table. You know what I mean? And Yeah. So,
Yeah.
if they, I think if they know what they bring to the table, they'll be able to answer it. If they don't, they'll be offended.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my thought anyway. That's just my thought. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments, all right? Let us know what y'all think in the comments. Damn, we went in on that one. All right.
We having the time of our lives, man.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Look at these two, man. Check this shit out. We've been married for 7 years and did not consummate the marriage. Or questionable, did Kendra G dismiss a man's claim that he was SA'd?
Huh?
Did she dismiss a man's claim that he was SA'd? I don't know if she did or didn't. I'm not passing judgment on it. We'll watch it all together if you want to pick that one. Pick B if you want that one, or pick A if you want to hear about being married for 7 years and having not entered the secret garden. In the garden.
Yo, cause ain't no I actually want to see both of these.
Why? Is somebody gonna tell her?
I'm about to drink straight from the bottle. What?
Oh man, yeah, we're gonna have to drink on either one of these. Oh my god,
7 years.
Once I was 7 years old.
All right, audience. Sign
Yeah,
off.
we need y'all help because
A is 7 years, no consummation. B is the trigger warning. Did Kendra G dismiss a man's SA claim?
I don't know. It's almost inconceivable to go 7 weeks married without. It's almost it's inconceivable to go 7 months.
Yo, Tony Braxton
Right.
said 7 whole days and not a word from you.
7
whole nights.
days, not a stroke from you.
And I'm just about through.
Damn right. Oh,
7 years.
7 years.
It's 2 leap years in there.
Let's just go with it. We gotta go.
It's 2 leap years in there.
Oh my gosh.
It's 2 leap years in there. It's 2 leap years. It's true though. It's true though. How you do that, man? How you married? How you married?
Come on, yeah. All right, that's it.
All right, let's do it. Okay. All right. Because I'm damn confused.
Yeah.
How is this? Here we go. Baby.
I was married for 7 years. We did not consummate the marriage.
Y'all didn't ever?
No. I mean, we did things. Just the snake never entered the garden. That was so saved. But just the imagery. Yeah. But other things happened, kind of. I can't. It's okay. I'm locked in. I've seen worse things.
I'm trying to understand. All 7 years?
All 7 years.
So y'all didn't try this before y'all got married?
No, I was a virgin when I got married. And while I was married.
I have never in my life.
I was married for 7 years. We did not consummate the marriage.
Hold on. I'm shaking the bottle empty. Hold
on.
Well, obviously, they didn't go deeper in that relationship.
I have so many questions. Are we? Are we? Did y'all drink?
Yeah. We're. I just finished mine.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. I'm on like.
I need ice. This. Oh Lord.
Put A Brown's last question up there because that's
and they were married. Like, do they not know like that's
because listen,
part of
hey,
that's
hey,
part of the that's part
hey.
of marriage. Like that's the it's like
That's the whole point.
He said we never consummated it. So like not we had
one.
sex on the night and then never did it again. Like y'all ain't even
Not one
go
time.
over the threshold. Y'all ain't go over the threshold, my nigga. What? Where are we at? Because I don't. All I see is her. I want to see y'all. Where? What? How,
She.
what?
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Yo.
Uh,
Listen. Okay. So
you know what?
In fairness, I've seen this before, and so I had to like. I didn't get to watch the whole video, but like I immediately leapfrogged into the comments because I knew just like how this was gonna go. And so somebody, did the research for us. Shout out to you people who actually take the time. And she is, which tied into our other story, she is a SA victim. And so like a portion of her story is her ability to be intimate with a partner because of the SA in her past. Fully respectable. I'm going to give that a chance to breathe. That's enough time. All right.
That's enough time because I'm saying how we married and okay, sorry. Go ahead, my bad.
No, because that. So listen. So now that we've given that some space to breathe, if we get to a point, and it's not the marriage point, it's not the engagement point. It's the serious relationship point because unless we have agreed to be celibate until marriage, abstinent until marriage, the conversation about intimacy is happening before we get to this point. So, like, what did those conversations look like? If she said, I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to, and he stayed, he a fool. But if she like made it seem like, if I can trust you, then I will, you know what I'm saying? Like, then we can whatever. Then this one is on her. And also, like, with anything, and y'all know we advocates. So if this is your first show, this ain't our first rodeo. We are G and T. And I'm gonna say this, but it's not time yet. I just want to, clarify because again, we got new viewers. So G and T stands for God and Therapy. We advocate for God and we advocate for therapy because like you ain't surviving in the year of our Lord 2025 without both of them. So like, baby, if you've been through some things and you still desire a life that is rich and fulfilled and purposeful, you got to go to therapy and work those things out. And I know not of one marriage, and I'm on the outside looking in, but I've got two qualified candidates here who will vouch for there's not a successful marriage without intimacy. Take it away.
I mean, my ass ain't staying.
She said they did other things.
Other things ain't enough, man.
No, fuck out of here. I mean, no. Ain't no another thing. Ain't no another.
No, that's not an excuse. What I'm trying to figure out is like, okay, who initiated the divorce and like first, like the other things were done, but was that because there was a promise of eventually she will be ready, or like there's unanswered questions there because did you like get to a point where you finally wanted to, and but then the other person was no longer like interested, or like because I mean that
bro went lip noodle. He went lip noodle on that.
You made him wait for 7 years.
Did she make him wait, or could he just
I'm
not?
just saying, like, if y'all ain't done it for 7 years, you expect him to just pop up?
I mean, He ain't pop up after day 2. Look, all right, listen.
He was
Listen.
popped up on
The
wedding night.
wedding day
Listen.
be long and tiring. Okay, so wedding night, all right, maybe not, but like within a night or 2 or 3. I mean, I feel like you gotta, hey, yeah, we did that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Watching her come down the aisle, my man was ready to go.
Listen.
And then she was like, I just want to enjoy the wedding. And then the next day was like, I just want to stay in this moment.
But they did other things.
Hey, yo, facts though. That's what I'm saying. That wedding night, yo, listen, wedding day be long and niggas be tired.
They did other things.
What are the other things? What qualifies as other things? Never mind. Never.
Fun fact though, and again, I'm saying this on the outside looking in, but I be privy to some information because I've also married some couples. I had couples sneak off during the reception to get it popping because they be tired at the end. So they went and got it popping while everybody was partying, and then came back to the party like ain't nothing happened. You know,
True.
you find a way.
I mean, I just waited till tomorrow, and then it was on. we go eat our pizza and go to sleep.
7
like nah.
years.
But I mean, but really though, but seriously though, that we both was exhausted. Hell, we ate our pizza, went to sleep. Next day, and for many days after, it was on. You know, just saying.
Insane.
7 years.
Somebody
years. This is a joke, but there's some truth to every joke.
7 years.
After 7 years, if he struck her, I might almost understand.
I mean, I'm not saying it's right.
I'm not saying it's right.
I'm just saying I might understand.
But I mean, he was obviously good for a period of time because they were doing other things.
It ain't enough.
What qualifies as other things?
It ain't enough other things in the world.
Just not that.
Ain't enough other things in the world.
Listen. There are other doors you can enter a house through. Okay, but I'm just saying.
I need a golden ticket. Okay.
How did this information
if he was faithful to her for those 7, that's it.
That's the part we don't know. We don't know how or why it ended. At least I didn't go digging to find that out. But I'm just
other things. I'm still confused by these other things.
Years.
Insane. Chronically insane.
Now, if it was him,
thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. See, one of you said it, so now it's okay. One of you said it, so now it's okay. All right, because that is the answer. That is the answer. Okay, that's the only reasonable, possible, logical answer.
It's not because A. Brown has the other logical answer.
What's the other logical answer?
Go up to.
Oh,
I was your lover and your secretary. Working every day of the week.
Who had the secretary?
The man, because other things ain't enough. It's my in a box.
But what if
my in a box, girl?
Would a straight man? Okay, never mind. All right.
A straight. Listen.
Okay,
And
right.
I'm not saying that we not checking for prostate cancer, even though women can't get it. However,
Just
we not staying at the prostate. You stay with me, okay? We enjoy tropical climates, okay? Places that are wet and
where it
warm,
get moist.
wet and warm and moist.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? Like let's not,
Good trip.
okay?
You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm not gonna go down there.
We like to slip and slides. You know,
We're not gonna talk
Please.
about truffle butter.
Send
All
me
right.
to a
not
water park.
truffle butter.
Send me to a water park. Put me in the tropical climate. I need it to be wet and warm.
Oh, it could still be wet and warm. It's
Oh no.
But
gonna
no,
be
that's
like I was talking about this bottle
it's
earlier.
but that's lubricated. That ain't it's I like Mother Nature in all her glory.
Natural climate. I need
Yes.
natural climate.
Mother Nature in all her glory. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I get it. You're trying to go down to Miami and not down to the Browns. I got you.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, no, none of that. What I'm saying is probably the person that married the dude that married is probably okay. One of the comments that, okay.
Yes. If he was faithful, I'm a wealthy white lady. That's what because he wasn't. He wasn't. It was like that scene in Bad Moms when she walked in on her husband doing the internet porn with the woman, and like they had been at it for like 7 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she thought like
he was at it
watching
for 7
porn, but the
years.
woman was like live on camera.
That was POV IRL.
Yeah, it is. Oh, shout out UConn is really busting UCLA ass, and it's okay.
UCLA wasn't up there for real. And that's all the more reason why it's sad that Juju got hurt. I mean, you're right. I think you said earlier in the pre-show, don't know if they would have got past UConn. You talking about USC? Don't know if they'd have got past UConn
Because Paige is cold, man. Paige is cold.
She is.
Number one. She gonna be the number one pick in the draft. It's especially because a number of chicks have checked out of this WNBA draft because they might be going into a lockout. I know, completely different story. My bad. We off track. But I think we have a consensus here that well, it's not a consensus, but it's a number of thoughts. One, the dude is gay or he not. The woman is gay or she not. He was cheating. He was cheating. It ain't or not. And also we need to be in tropical climates.
But was he cheating with a girl? But was he cheating in a tropical climate?
Is there a picture of him?
So
I don't know.
If they were doing other
we can tell you just by looking at him.
We're all speculating.
They were doing other things, and he was comfortable with other things.
That's what I'm saying. For 7 years, dog. He was comfortable not laying pipe.
I wanna say
because she kind of sounded. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. She kind of sounded disappointed that they never consummated the marriage. I don't know. It kind of sounded like that.
But it's her fault.
Well, gatekeeper. Maybe the gatekeeper finally unlocked the door, but nobody walked through the front door.
Because she probably unlocked it after 4 years.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's
at that point, the gate is rusted.
Well, I mean, it's a tight gate to get through.
It is, but it hurts if it's rusted. It leads to tetanus if it's rusted.
Oh God!
So I'm not trying to go through the gate and be an amputee.
I was just debating whether to go down this rabbit hole, but I'm not going to. Not going to do it.
We're already here.
Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
How much time we got? What time is it?
We ain't got no time. We got 7 years is what we got.
Whew.
We got 7 years. Whew. So what y'all trying to do,
I mean, a lot can be done in 7 years. I don't know how. I don't know how everything was done except that.
A lot of other
In 7 years.
things were done.
How are other things? What are other things that what's the word that compensate?
In 7 years, Aquaforce stock
7
will be through
years.
the roof.
Maybe he drunk Aquafina. I don't know.
No,
Or she
no,
did.
He's obviously an Aquafina drinker.
no. He's an
One of them obviously
he's an
drinks Aquafina.
Aquaphor advocate. As am I. That's a strong petroleum. You understand what I'm saying? However, it ain't 7 years strong. It's a few months strong. Put me back in the tropical climate.
7 months. 7 months is crazy. Okay,
He found him a street
what I'm
walker.
saying is there's probably this 7 months. There would be heavy consideration for other options. Is after 7 months.
Listen, after all
There'd
that
be
time,
heavy consideration.
After
I'm
all
being
that
very
time,
nice about this.
after all that time of digging in the compost, you get used to it. So,
everything she say would piss me off. Like hey, how was your day? Right in the nose.
There ain't no other things that would avoid that. That's what I'm saying. What other things could be done to avoid this?
Again, I am not an advocate for domestic violence, but after 7 years, I'd understand.
I'm not saying this right.
I'm not saying this. We are not condoning domestic violence.
I'm not saying this right.
But after 7 years, I'd understand.
Just saying it might understand. Because it's not right. It's not right.
But it's not right. But it's okay. But
it's not. Yes, I mean after 7. Listen, after 7 months. Listen, after 7 weeks. Listen, really after 7 days, I'm having thoughts.
And
I'm saying, wait a minute.
When you're a newlywed,
wait a goddamn minute.
I feel like when you're a newlywed, every 7 hours be having you feeling some kind of way.
That's what I'm saying. Like by hour 8, by hour 7.5, I'm like,
hey baby,
hey baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
You ain't even gotta do nothing. Just stay right there and look sexy.
Stay right there. You walked past me. I caught your whiff.
Listen, I see you was in my general area, and I knew what time it was.
I saw that big toe, and I was ready to go.
That's it.
Big toe be having me ready to go. And that's real. Just saying. Get you one who your big toe get him ready to go.
There it is.
Get you one like that.
Oh, put that on the t-shirt.
Put it on the t-shirt. Yes.
Put it on the t-shirt.
Big
toe ready to go.
Go, baby.
And the toes got to be white. You know what I'm saying? At that point, the toes got to be white. Cocaine white. That's a prison sentence. Niggas be in prison for 7 years, getting out, ready to, head something up. She gave that man a prison sentence. He
in the house. You dragging that wagon all around the house.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing happening.
You was in a 90 and expecting him to be cool. You got out the shower and expected him to be cool.
Or worse, he was cool with other things instead of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Gay.
Somebody said Gabrielle Union was doing other things, and that's
other things.
Other things is
other
weird
things,
behavior, man.
If other things get you Dwayne Waded, I don't want no parts of these other things. And that's that's okay. All right.
Allegedly,
Dwayne Wade carries a Merce proudly with painted nails, also white nails, like what we said.
Right. Yeah, I want her nails painted. Not well. First of all, I don't want a him, but even as a him, I'm not painting my nails. I got clear. I'll go clear. Clear, no color.
Yeah, right. Right. All these things that we're saying is obviously what Gabrielle Union says about her wife.
We want to thank y'all so much for coming out.
Damn, we canceled. That's it. If we're canceled, it's because they know it's true. I'm just saying.
You know,
I'm saying.
We've thought about this for 7 years.
7 years. Bro,
somebody got an address for this woman? I'll fight her.
7 years.
Because it's got to be her fault. Because there ain't no way.
Yep.
Unless,
bro,
unless. You know, bro was a bunghole scavenger.
He's a switch hitter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
He using one of them torpedo bats.
He was a garbage digger. I mean, he was.
he been knocking it out the park. You know, they're investigating that because it's been more home runs than ever before to start a season. He got a torpedo bat.
He got big cork in the bat.
You know, he's trying to hit it at its biggest point. Okay.
Ugh, disgusting. Well, you know, I mean, I guess unless that's what you like, and you know, hey, you know, not for me, not for me.
That's for me. That's for me in my house.
That's for me in my house. That's for you. That's okay.
My house.
You do what you do in your house.
That's for me in my house. My house. I'm finna serve the moist.
Serve the moist in the tropical island. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where's my lady? Where's she at? What time is it? 10:30? It's time to go. All this talk about damn tropical islands and whatnot. Yeah, I know. We know what time it is over here. Like we say that for me in my house. Yeah. Man, thank y'all. Y'all got it. Pop it in the comments, man. As always, man, y'all make it a good time for all of us. So thank you guys very much. Kev, take us out, brother.
You know, and in an hour and a half, I'm gonna have a 6-year-old, and that's, you know, just this is really where I am for tonight. But this was good therapy for me. A ton of fun as always. I'm grateful to be here with the bros. You know, but I appreciate y'all because y'all really did show up and show out in the comments tonight. So, you know, tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and, you know, can't wait to chop it up with y'all again. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and you know, yeah.
Appreciate y'all for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Like Kev said, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. And I'm gonna just say that, you know, time waits for no man. Don't let 7 years go by. Definitely. But it's time. Like, LFG, let's freaking go. Because you don't want 7 years to go by, and no. That's gonna gosh. Hey, tune in next time. We're gonna have some more fun. It's organic. We live. We do this. So we're gonna see you guys next time. LFG, baby.
Let's go. We appreciate all of y'all, man. One more time. Man, listen, it is wild out here in these streets, man. Protect your mind, protect your eyes, protect your ears. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Remember that there's a war for your mind, so stay skeptical, stay informed, and always question the narrative. But all that being said, though, also have a good time, man. Remember to reach out to God. Remember to go get therapy if you need that, and I think everybody really does. Don't be too prideful and say that you don't need it. All right, we all need it. We all need a little bit. All right, so you know, go get that. Get yourself taken care of, man. Take care of yourself this year in 2025, man. That's what it is. Right? You take care of you, and you know, we'll everybody take care of you. Everything else will kind of take care of itself. At least. That's what I think. I might be wrong. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that in the comments. Thank y'all again for jumping in the comments and making this live for us. As always, we will see y'all again in 2 weeks on Easter weekend. We'll be back on Good Friday with a special guest. It's going to be a good time. But for right now, that's it. We out of here. We'll be back 2 weeks. Like I said, April 18th. 2 Fridays from now, special guest in town. Shout out to every last one of you. We'll definitely catch y'all on the next one.
And we're going to celebrate my birthday. Let's go.
Yeah! Birthday, baby!
Platypus is a metaphor for whatever's keeping you down. Like corporations are a platypus. Government's a platypus. Your teacher is a platypus. My teacher is a panda. Society is a platypus. My parents are a platypus. The media is a platypus. All this propaganda that we all got a platypus controlling us. It's me! I stopped it nowadays. I'm not speaking metaphorically. The platypus controlling me is underneath the table. Wait, no, he's gone. Hey! There's no platypus controlling me. There's no platypus controlling me.